Greetings, people of Earth, and how the devil are you? Oh my goodness gracious me. Bit of a rush tonight, bit of a rush. I was a bit late leaving. Bernard's been ringing all the way home, no idea why, and then didn't speak when I answered, so goodness only knows what's going on there. Let's see who we've got with us this evening. And as always, I'm delighted to be here with you, a dear old windy bum, taking you through to the midnight hour, coming directly into your eyes and ears. How wonderful is that? Good evening, Matt. Good evening, Jimmy. Good evening, Sven. Good evening, Liz. Good evening, Bad Books. Good evening again, Liz. Good evening again, _. Good evening, Chaz Brown. Chef Daniel, how nice. Good evening to you. I have been to Tesco and there are candles. Yeah, that was a last night thing. Good evening, Simone. Mustard, dear boy. How the devil are you? And Dinosaur Dad. Well, what a fabulous little group we are tonight, aren't we? Some of my very favourite people, and that's absolutely lovely. What shall we talk about? I've got absolutely nothing planned. I never do. We'll see what happens, shall we? Simone says, good evening and good night. Early start tomorrow morning as I am driving to Birmingham, TTFN. Well, jolly good luck, Simone. I know that you're excited and nervous and anxious all rolled into one. I'm sure you'll have a fabulous weekend, and I hope you really enjoy yourself. And everybody else who's going to the wife swapping event at the NEC in Birmingham. Well, it's not actually in Birmingham, it's on the outskirts of Birmingham. But all of you who are going there this weekend, I hope you have a fabulous time and get off with some really nice other people's wives. And I hope that a lot of people admire yours. GPS OMG is here and says, good evening, Mr. Alimentary Canal Bottom Pottering Bottom Sniffer. How's it hanging? Slightly to the left as per normal. Is that a thing these days? Do people still dress? Well, I say people. We are specifically talking about men here. Do men still dress to the left or to the right? Do you dress to the left or to the right? If there are any men watching, obviously 98% of my viewers are female, but I think there are a couple of chaps that pop in now and then. And how's it hanging with you chaps? Mustard is only half here. He's editing tomorrow's video. Well, is it the top half or the bottom half? If it's Mustard's bottom half that's with us, then hold your noses, especially you, _. If it's his top half that's with us, well, he might say something amusing to amuse us all. He often says amusing things, does Mustard. He's a jolly amusing chap to be around. Oh, never mind, he says, it can wait until later. So there we are. We've got Mustard's undivided attention through till midnight when this fandango will splutter thankfully to a blessed end. Right. General Cheeseburger has joined us and says, evening conscripts. Dinosaur Dad is still pissing himself, hopefully not literally, at the pottering harness, which was one of our more amusing little interludes, wasn't it? Yeah, the pottering harness. You know, we've probably missed a trick on that. I bet you the pottering harness will be a thing in BDSM clubs within 3 months, and it should have had our names on it. Mustard and Boaty's patented pottering harness. But there we are. Simone says, keep an eye out, Boaty, for the Channel Classic Britain. for NEC coverage. Well, I shall do that. I wouldn't want to miss out on the hot NEC wife swapping action. God, it's a long time since I've been to the NEC. The last time I was at the NEC was when I was performing there, and that's a long time ago. How's it hanging, says GPS, was an expression used in 1985, meaning how are things going with you? You're so out of touch. Well, I am out of touch, but I kind of knew that. But I've always preferred to think that how's it hanging relates specifically to one's little tinkle. And to be polite, one should reply with either to the left or to the right. Or perhaps you prefer a dead straight middle wicket. The old dead straight middle stump. Short, shriveled and to the left, says Black Lines. Tonight's video was good, Mustard, says Jimmy Quinn. Praising Mustard's video and ignoring mine, which presumably was neither good nor worthy of any mention, which would put it on a par with most of my other videos. I can't personally attest to the goodness or otherwise of Mustard's video because I haven't as yet watched it. Although if it's about what I think it's about, then I was there at the time. Yeah, I will watch that once this wretched thing has shuddered to a halt. Hello, we've got a message health review. That's always good fun. Probably filth. And it's Matt, and it is. Right. I've never swapped a wife, says Simone of Hooked on Classics. So this weekend is going to be a very exciting one for you then, isn't it? Your first experience. And I wish you joy of said experience. Yes, indeed, says underscore, agreeing with a point that I made some moments earlier. I do indeed seem to be a target for Mustard's gas. If I went wife swapping, says Black Lines, I'd want a new freezer. Why, is that where you keep your wife? Keep her fresh for the swapping? Or do you mean that you would swap your wife for a new freezer? Bad Book says, first drive of the year in my Unos tonight. And for those of you who don't know, the Unos is the Japanese version of the Mazda MX-5. Yeah, first drive of the year, first drive of the year in my Unos to the local MX-5 meet. Are you welcome there, being a foreigner? And it rained on the way home. Well, I hope you kept the hood down. Ivor Boaty is with us and says, good evening, Boaty, and everyone. An all-encompassing good evening there from the one and only Monsieur Boaty. It was peeing down here. Well, it's peeing down here, Boaty. And thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. I hang to the left if it's anyone's interest. Now, I'm going to guess that you're right-handed, Boaty, because I've got a theory that you kind of do a diagonal swoop when it comes to dressing. So if you're right-handed, you would automatically swoop the little tinkle to the left. But I, of course, am left-handed and I dress to the left, which just makes me generally somewhat weird. Were you a stripper, Boaty, at the NEC? Asked Jimmy Quinn. No, I was a singist. I don't think anybody would have paid me to strip. Oh, well, actually, would they? No, they might have a few years earlier when I was still stinking fit. But at that point in my life, they would pay me to sing, but I don't think anybody would have paid to see me naked. Black Line says, Boaty, it seems to me like Brian simply likes going downhill and not up. He behaved on the way back. Poor old Brian. Brian is poorly. For those who didn't watch my, frankly, substandard video this evening, Brian has got an issue with his Brian control unit. And I've had about 64,000 messages from people saying that it's a bastard to get out, and then 64,000 more from people saying it's even more of a bastard if you have air conditioning, which Brian does. So by all accounts, it's going to be a total bastard to get out, and I'm really, really, really dreading. I'm really not looking forward to watching Mustard do it. I say watching, it'll be from the window. I'll stay inside in the warm. I will move the car around the back. I'll shift Wetty and pop Brian in there so that Mustard is within staggering distance of his take in and put out options, otherwise known as the T and P options, which are incredibly important to the good captain. There are few moments of the day where he's not doing one or the other, which is why he doesn't get much done, because he has to, anything that he does, he has to fit in around the T's and the P's. And, you know, he eats quite often as well. But, yeah, I will give him all of my support and trust that he wears it so he doesn't do himself a mischief, whilst watching out of the kitchen window and preparing a delicious meal of his choice, by way of thanks for him once again helping me out of the shit by working around my own mechanical ineptitude. That's a nice word, ineptitude, isn't it? You might like to write that down for future use. I will watch Mustard's video later, says GPS. And Jimmy Quinn says, sorry Boaty, your video was excellent, and gives me no fewer than 4 thumbs up and 9 gold stars, which pretty much puts me at the top of the class, I would say. I'm probably a prefect, which means that in the morning I can summon you to my study, bend you over and use you as a toast rack. It's raining here, says Matt. My poor leaky car. A General Cheeseburger also agrees that Mustard's video was indeed good. Who are you kidding, says GPS. It was adequate. That's very kind of you. Correct, Boaty. Biggish tinkle, thank you very much. So there we are. We're learning a little bit more about our friend Ivor Spotty Botty. When it comes to the tinkle department, it's a bit on the biggish side. He dresses to the left and he is right-handed. I think we all feel a little bit closer to him now, don't we? I certainly do. Nothing worse than a leaky car, says GPS, who's clearly never been buggered by a drunken sailor. Hood down on the way there, says Bad Books, and I am very welcome. They get asked about Fiat 124 Spiders, but who cares? Sven says, found my ZTT's boot full of water today. Yeah, it's not uncommon for ZTs and ZTTs to develop swimming pools in the rear luggage compartment. And the same is true of Freelanders, funnily enough. So I feel that pain. It's a nice night here, says Jimmy. No rain. And Mustard's having a giggle, a bit of a giggle at the BCU. For those who didn't realise, BCU stands for Brian Control Department. His little electronic brain. And I had some more messages about the Brian Control Unit. Somebody said, I fitted a new one to mine, or new relays to mine. It was a bastard to get out, and then it broke again shortly afterwards. Apparently water gets into them. And somebody else said, don't bugger about. DP LGBTQ+, the spares people, they sell the complete unit for £70. Just get one of those, chuck it in, and Bob's your uncle. And if I win the lottery, I might well do that. Blackline says it's not like Rover Electronics to play up. Yeah, well, you know. I mean, I've got one word for you: Citroen. Buggered control unit, says General Cheeseburger. If it's playing up, then remember, if in doubt, give it a clout. Job done. You won't believe this, says Mustard, but I went from Newport to Rochdale without going for a pee. Well, you're right, I don't believe that. I believe that you didn't stop for a pee, but I don't believe that you didn't have one. Let's just say I bet that Mustard's tea flask was fuller when he got home than when he left home that morning. Love this chat tonight, says Ivor Spotty Botty, but I have to go back now. Have a great stream, everyone. TTFN, have a good shift, Ivor, and thank you for popping in. Having said that, said Black Lines, and what he specifically said was, it's not like Rover Electronics to play up. Having said that, I saw a video today where someone's Audi Q7 refused to start because the brake fluid sensor was duff, and for safety it refused to engage the starter. Very convenient, he says, employing the ancient art of sarcasm. I haven't had a drink yet. I'm going to rectify that. Let's have a toast to good chums and good times ahead this year. I'll drink to that. Bottoms up. Oh, I'm back on the cheap stuff. It's not the same. Us lefties, says Dinosaur Dad, need to stick together. The world has made life a bit tricky, especially whiteboards. Indeed. Oh, somebody's having a go at saying ineptitude. And why don't you have a go at saying it too? Come on, let's all say it together after 3. 1, 2, 3, ineptitude. And I was talking about Alanis Morissette the other night, and I forgot to finish off something that I was saying. I was talking about the song, excuse me, frog in the throat. I was talking about the song Ironic, and the fact that she wasn't fully aware of the meaning of the word ironic, and listed a lot of things in the song lyrics that were not ironic. But I didn't mention the actual meaning of the word irony. And irony does, of course, mean a little bit like an iron. So I'm glad we've cleared that up. I'm left-handed, says Black Lines, for writing only. Everything else I use my right hand, which I'm told is weird. Well, if you're weird, Black Lines, I am too. Because I write left-handed, I eat right-handed, I play snooker left-handed, I play tennis right-handed, table tennis I serve left-handed and then switch over to my right hand, I throw the javelin right-handed, I kick right-footed. Yes, a queer mix. I tell you what, I'd give my right arm to be ambidextrous. Hey ho. Seems a lot of sinistrals in the world of Boaty. Indeed, says Matt, employing a little bit of Latin knowledge there, perhaps indicating a classical education. I like a bit of Latin. Driver Tizer in Mustard's flask. That's my suspicion, Cheeseburger. Comments below. Is Mustard a big fat fibber, or is he a tight-bladdered gentleman who did manage to get from Newport all the way home without a single whittle? Some excellent emoji deployment there. Jimmy Quinn says, Boaty, did Mustard have any diesel left when he got back from Wales? Half a tank, Jimmy Quinn. Half a tank. Honestly, I don't know what's in his video, but I suspect there may be a section where I complained about the amount of diesel that he put in. And accused him, quite unfairly and unjustly, of trying to diesel himself up for the following 3 weeks. And all I'm saying is, he got back with half a tank of diesel. And I will say no. Which hand... and somebody's had a go at ineptitude, which is a lovely word. Which hand does Boaty use for number 3s? Asks Cheeseburger. I don't know what a number 3 is. So I can't tell you. When will we be getting the adventures of Boaty and Boo, it says. I'm not sure if that's... the adventures of Boaty and Boo. I can't say too much, but there are some videos in circulation of some Boaty adventures with the original Boo, and they are on a group somewhere on the internet, and you have to pay to look at them. But that's nothing to do with me, and I don't get the money from them. I didn't set that up. I'm trying to remember the name of the app that it was set up on, and I can't. But if anybody's seen those videos, again, do let me know in the comments below. Sounds like Boaty's control system is foobarred as well, never mind Brian's. Harsh, but probably fair. Mustard is a tight northerner. He won't pay 5p to use the toilets at the services. Is it 5p? Is it a shilling to have a whittle at the services now? I went for a whittle on the way down and I didn't have to pay a shilling. Maybe it's because I'm a well-known YouTube celebrity with over 17 followers. Now then. Now this is interesting. Captain Mustard is fighting back and says, half a tank, because I actually weed in the tank on the way home, not in my flask. So I think we all owe Mustard an apology. Well, all of us who believed that he did actually wee in his flask. No, we take it back and we fully accept his explanation that he actually weed in the fuel tank. Isn't that going to make him run a bit funny? Or can diesels run? I knew they could run on vegetable oil, but I didn't know they could run on a mixture of diesel and urine, although I suspect that mustard urine probably does contain quite a bit of oil. The amount of bloody takeaways the man eats. And when he eats his takeaway curry, he spoons off the oil and eats that first because it's the best bit. So, well, there you are. Gosh, there's something we didn't know about Eric. Fair play. If it works for you, it works for you. Jimmy Quinn has explained what a number 3 is. Thank you, Jimmy. Which hand do I use for that? Well, it's not something I do very often, but if I think back, right-handed for the old number 3. Education, says Matt, with an incredulous tone. I'm from Ilkeston. I have no education. Ilkeston, home of the special SBDU, Special Something Development Unit. Anyway, it's where the racing frames were, the rally racing frames for the continental professional teams were built. Pornhub, says GPS. No, it wasn't Pornhub. It was a bit like a Facebook group thing, but on a different app to Facebook, and it was monetized. So in order to access the content, people had to pay, and there were no filters on it like there is in Facebook. So you could put on, you know, I've never looked at OnlyFans, but I imagine it was a bit like OnlyFans is now. You know, you could put sex videos on there, and you could put full nudity and so on. And because, actually I can't say this, I'm giving away secrets. Somebody, not me, somebody who was, you know, rather attractive and got a lot of attention, thought it would be a jolly good idea to put some naked stuff up there and get money from it. I wonder if she's on OnlyFans now. Oh, Caravan and Freelander. Right, we do have a plan. Mustard and I spent some time on the phone today, and to be honest with you, it was a little bit awkward because we were talking about something and he suddenly, in the middle of a sentence, he said, hang on. Genuinely, we were just having a semi-professional, friendly conversation. And then in the middle of a sentence, he broke off and out of nowhere said, I'm touching myself right now and thinking of you. And it kind of threw me a bit. But then the weird thing was, neither of us mentioned it again. And he didn't say anything else like that in the conversation. We carried on talking. But we were talking about plans for our joint channel and how it will be reopened. And I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but it's safe to say that I think you can expect to see some hot Mr. George Roger Boaty action before too long. Can you send us a link to the video, please? Asked Jimmy Quinn. I can't remember the name of the app thing it's on. There's some God Almighty, and in fact I'd completely forgotten about that. For all I know, because I'm blocked from it, for all I know, my penis might be more famous than the rest of me. It might have more subscribers. It might be earning more money. In which case, I'm bloody well jealous of it. And I actually looked down at it then. I genuinely looked down at it then. The pot calling the kettle, you eat a lot of takeaways, accuses GPS. No, I don't eat a lot of takeaways. I have one takeaway a week, and that is my Monday lunch. Everything else, I cook myself. And I hope that if you've looked at my food pictures, I bloody well hope they don't look like takeaways, because believe me, my food is better than anything else you will find in a takeaway. I don't eat takeaways. Why would I? Why would I pay for food that is not as good as my own food? The only reason I have a takeaway on Mondays is because I can't cook. When the caravan is fully set up, there will be no takeaways because I will cook. I have cooked on the odd Monday. I took a stove a couple of times and did Momo. But yeah, I'm not the takeaway king. That's Mustard. He eats about 12 takeaways per week. I thought he just had a takeaway every lunch, but he let slip on Monday's road trip that he has them most nights as well. Not every night, he said, maybe 4 or 5 nights out of the week. There'll be 1 or 2 nights when he does instruct his wife to cook. Oh, Stephen S. Paul is with us and says, good evening, Boatman, and good evening to you, Stephen S. Paul. What's the channel sex book? Asked Jimmy Quinn. No. If somebody comes up with a name, if somebody comes up with a name, I'll remember it, but I cannot for the life of me think of the name of the app stroke website. It's not a sex thing, so it's not like Pornhub or anything like that, and it's not designed as a sex thing. It's like a Facebook group thing, but on a different platform, not on Facebook. And you can set up groups on there. And the two advantages of it is that you can monetize it, so you can charge people to be a member of the group. And there are no adult filters on it, so you can post anything you like. Oh, a hidden message. I hope his wife doesn't watch this. Mustard, the grass is not greener on the other side. Is your new channel called called Boaty and Mustard Do One Another? Asked Jimmy Quinn. No. For a start, I wouldn't get top billing. It's always Mustard and Boaty. It's never Boaty and Mustard. No, the new channel will be called The Doings of Mustard and Boaty. And it's not a new channel, it's a rebrand of our existing channel, which you've all probably forgot about. And that's probably a good thing. But it has got subscribers, it has got watch hours, so we won't be starting a brand new one. We will simply be doing a rebrand and uploading a completely different form of content. Is McDonald's not a takeaway? Asked General Cheeseburger. Well, yes, it is a takeaway, but I haven't had one for... The last McDonald's I had was when Simon came round, and that was last year. And the last one I had before that would have been probably around this time last year. So except for one, it's a year since I've had a McDonald's. And to be honest, I missed them. McDonald's would be my go-to, really, but Mustard won't have them. He's not a fan. I would love a McDonald's. I would like one tomorrow. I would love a Big Mac with a large fries and a side salad with balsamic dressing. And given that it's been a year, I think I'm bloody well entitled as well. Maybe I'll do that before too long. I'll treat myself to a McDonald's. Blimey, says Liz. What have I just walked into? With Boaty talking about his tinkle. And with the muff magnet emoji. Well, you've just walked into this. Mustard says, my wife doesn't cook. Oh dear. How did she survive before she met you then, Mustard? Did she live on takeaways? No wonder you wanted to marry me instead. Oh, you'd eat like a king if you were my husband, matey. Was it Grindr? No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't Grindr. And it definitely wasn't Tinder, bad books. It wasn't any form of a dating app. It was just a groups platform that you could put a group on, and you could put subgroups within the group. And I think our group was called, I think it was called Sexy and Saucy, the same as my Facebook group was called. But we put the stuff on there that we couldn't put on Facebook, and we charged people to look at it. Well, I didn't. Somebody else did. Somebody else who gave the infidel a free upgrade on his hotel room. This is going to be one of those streams, isn't it, Stephen S. Paul? Probably. It's not going well. It's all going in the wrong direction. I do all of the cooking in my house, says Jimmy Quinn. Good for you, Jimmy. Wow, Mustard's chomping through the channel money, says Dinosaur Dad. Oh, wine. Thank you, Matt. McDonald's bollock burger. You're sounding like Mustard. Mustard thinks McDonald's is food of the devil. I really enjoy it. I love a Big Mac. I absolutely adore a Big Mac. I really do. It's my guilty treat. You know, mind you, I also like a battered sausage and chips. That's another guilty treat. But I don't get any of those these days. One of these Mondays, I'm going to put my foot down with a firm hand, and we're going to go to David's Chippy instead of Istanbul. Because I haven't had battered sausage, chips and curry sauce for about 8 months. And it's something that I need in my life now and then. I remember seeing a McDonald's in Boaty's Noshes not so long ago, says General Cheeseburger, taking me to task. I don't recall one recently. I'm pretty certain the last one was with Simon when he came here, and that was last autumn. I'm sure I haven't had one since then. You know, if I'm wrong, I stand corrected, but I've got a pretty good McDonald's memory, and I'm pretty sure that was the last one. I'm definitely due another. There's absolutely no question. And one of these Saturdays, I need to get my pert little arse to Cromford and to Robinson's Fish and Chip Shop, which is the best fish and chip shop anywhere in the known universe. And don't argue with me, it just is. If you've been there, you'll know that that's true. If you've not been there, then you won't know. So don't argue. Oh God, yeah. When I lived in Matlock Bath, that was my little Saturday treat. If little Miss was around, I'd take her with me, and we'd go to Robinson's of Cromford and get some chips and whatever. Our little Miss would have a fish cake. I'd have a sausage or a battered sausage, and we'd share some curry sauce. But often we wouldn't take it home. We'd take it up. So if you go through Cromford, up the hill towards Black Rock, which is where I think the, it's not, is it? No, forget I said that. And then if you turn right at the top of the hill, just before you go under the bridge, heading towards Carsington Water, then about half a mile on your left-hand side, you can go down the little road to Steeple Grange Light Railway. And we would park up there and eat our chips. And I'm in love with that little railway, and I've never been on it. And I really, 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 really want to go on it. I used to just go there and hang out. There might even be a video of it somewhere from the really early videos. In fact, I'm sure there is. I remember doing it. But I need to do that one of these Saturdays. I'm always busy now doing something. Editing a video or making a video or doing something else. And one of these Saturdays I should treat myself. I can't do it in the week because they don't open at lunchtime in the week. They only open at lunchtime on Saturday, or maybe Friday and Saturday. They're barely open at all. They only open for about an hour and a half in the evenings, and not every evening at that. But when you're the world's best fish and chip shop, you can do that sort of thing. We have to open a takeaway and call it Boaty's Burgers. Deep fried sausage from the chippy, full of bollock fat, says GPS. Mustard says, and I don't quite understand this, you're like the opera singer who enjoys Girls Aloud. Oh, is that a reference to, to my liking McDonald's? Well, I'll tell you this, right? And this is a fact. Keith Floyd, the great, great chef, Keith Floyd, the very first celebrity chef who paved the way for all of the others. And you know, be under no doubt, he was lots of things, but he was a great, great chef. And whenever he travelled abroad, he always travelled with a tin of Heinz baked beans and a tinned Fräulein pie. So, you know, even if you do have nice tastes, there will still be certain basic things that you enjoy. And that's another thing I haven't had for ages. A Fräulein tinned pie. And I need one of those. They're fabulous. I mean, they're disgusting, but they're fabulously disgusting. And they're wonderful. And I love them. And I need one of those in my life. I need to stop eating all of this really good food and enjoy some crap. And maybe then more than 12 people will watch Boaty's noshes. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo. I had a ham salad bap, says GPS today, who hasn't forgotten that even when I don't mention it, I always want to hear what you guys have been eating. Always, 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 always. And GPS is letting me know. He had a ham salad bap today with McCoy's cheese and onion crisps. And I thoroughly approve of that. But what I would like to know is, what, if any, dressing or condiment did you have on your ham salad bap? Now then, if I have a ham sandwich, it's mustard. If I have a ham and tomato sandwich, it's mustard. But if I have a ham and salad sandwich or bap, guess what I like on there? You won't guess. Salad cream. Salad cream. Another opera singer liking Girls Aloud moment. For a ham salad bap, you cannot beat good old-fashioned salad cream. Ideally out of a glass bottle, because everything tastes better out of glass bottles, excuse me, than it does out of those plastic squeezy ones. And yeah, I have got the wine in this fridge that's the ongoing wine, and it's in there because it's a little bit colder, but I'm going to check the wine that's in the cuddy freezer, and as you can see, that's perfectly all right, completely unfrozen, so that's very good. And then after the ham salad bap, which turns out to be a lunch thing, GPS had homemade chili con carne for dinner. Excellent, excellent. Homemade chili con carne, served with, may I ask GPS? I mean, steamed white rice would seem appropriate, but what about a little more carbohydrate on the side? Maybe a garlic flatbread, or I don't know, some, well, you let us know what you had. Thomas Baxter says, nothing like a good pot noodle to bring you back down to earth. And he's got a point. Fräulein pies were quite good, says Mustard. Heinz beans are too sweet though. Are they? Are they? Are they? What is your baked bean of choice then? Probably, yeah. Interesting. You see, I'm not sure that I've noticed any gradations in sweetness in the baked bean steaks. But then, when I have baked beans, I deploy the white pepper, and I deploy the white pepper liberally. That's something else I haven't had for ages. Beans on toast. I need beans on toast for lunch. Next week, let's have a thing, right? Let's do a thing. In the Facebook group, next week, starting Monday, let's have some of our favourite, like basic crap, cheapo meals. Well, maybe not so cheapo, but like Fräulein pies, beans on toast, pot noodle. Get pictures up in the Facebook group and let's see what we think of each other's basic meals. I really fancy that. I fancy having beans on toast one lunchtime with lashings of rich creamery butter and a liberal dusting of white pepper. I mean, that's a fabulous thing. I really fancy a Fräulein pie. I would like that. Yes, I would. And next week I'm going to do it. And I'm going to have a bloody McDonald's as well. And sod mustard and his opera singer liking the atomic... What were they called? Oh, I always get them mixed up. No, I can't remember. The Spice Kittens or whatever. Oh. We'll come on to that one. Mayo on a ham salad bap, says Cheeseburger. That would be second choice to salad cream for me. Nothing, says GPS. Nothing on his ham salad bap. Lurpak butter, salt and pepper, and he would have mustard only with tomato and corned beef. Jimmy Quinn, who has 2 takeaways per week, but my God, when he has a takeaway, he just orders the entire menu, so it probably lasts him half the week. You'd only need 2 a week. Chili and chips for Jimmy Quinn with cheese. And then mustard, somewhat controversially, says, mustard makes everything better, including your live streams. Well, now then. French fries, says GPS, because the wife didn't want rice or French fries, so I went for French fries and she had garlic bread. Oh, that's with your chili. Oh, no, I mean, that's just wrong, isn't it? Isn't it? Chili with French fries? Surely that's wrong. Now, what were the car auctions? Was it BCA or up in somewhere beginning with an M? I went there to buy a load of cheap cars below book when I started with that I've mentioned before, the first guaranteed credit company in the UK. They were an American company. They started operating in the UK. Mine was one of the first businesses that they worked with. And so I went to this bloody auction house to buy a load of shit cars behind book. And I needed to eat. And they served me chili with chips. And I thought, my God, I'm never coming to the north again. Chili and chips, dear me. We have a British food section in our Coles supermarket, says Dinosaur Dad. Makes me a bit homesick for the food. Yes to salad cream with boiled eggs. Branston beans on toast for Jimmy Quinn with fried eggs. Supermarket beans, says Mustard, with ginger powder and butter. Well, I made so I'll tell you what I had for lunch today. I had tandoori chicken with chips and with homemade hot paprika slaw, and it was bloody fabulous. Haven't had that for ages. Thank you, GPS. Destiny's Kitten. I always get them mixed up with Atomic Child. You can't have butter on beans on toast. It's sacrilege. How could you not have butter? Have you got something against moistness on beans on? You've got to have butter. You've got to have butter, and then the hot beans make the butter all runny and wonderful and lovely, and you squidge it all up. And you've got to have buttery beans. What's the matter with you, man? Get some butter on those beans on toast. Think on. Oh, hello, Simon. Oh, blimey. Simon is with us, Project MGTF, one of our community channels, and more than deserving of your support. And Simon's been at band practice and has joined us and hasn't had any dinner and tells me not to freeze my wine. I've just done a wine demonstration, Simon. I have definitely, and we will double check it, still perfectly okay. How was band practice? Oh, a notification. Recommended Monica Geldart, the mum of the group. Never heard of her, no idea what all that's about. I do need to catch up with some boxing stuff. Apparently Fury Usyk is off again. Who could have guessed? I found a can of Pringles, says Stephen S. Paul, on the floor of a Firebird on Monday. Good eating. Oh, so you ate them then? You're not bothered about how long they've been there or had they been fertiled with or contaminated. You just shoved them down the little red lane. Good man. I believe in eating foraged food. Oh, Jimmy Quinn says Boaty does the funniest live streams, and that's presumably in retaliation to Mustard. But thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Oh, and General Cheeseburger has made a very funny, continually various transmission joke. Simon let us know that he's been out of band practice. Oh, and I believe from a little cheeky live stream viewing, I believe there's going to be a big birthday in the house coming up this Friday. So, I don't know what the plans are, but hopefully there will be a birthday live stream. Oh, hello. I've just had to subdue a fart. And message for Captain Mustard, farts can be subdued. You don't always have to give in to them. Especially when you're broadcasting live to the nation, man. Anyway, there was a very funny CVT joke because Cheeseburger said, have you been playing with CVT, Simon? On the basis that CVT has bands. And that's a very good joke, actually. Oh, Mickey is with us. Mickey Jeffries. Sardines on toast, he says, apropos. Oh, is that what you ate tonight, Mickey? Mickey, along with Simon and now Sven and GPS, are all channel members. People who wonderfully, amazingly, and to my immense gratitude, support this channel by becoming channel members, which gives them, frankly, substandard perks that I really need to add to. They're kind enough to. Channel membership is a thing whereby you can support the channel on an ongoing basis by becoming a member. It's only a couple of quid a month. And in return, I'm supposed to give you perks. And I've been a bit crap at it thus far, but it is a. You can use. What do you get? I forget what you get. You get some emojis, and you get free momos at meetings, and I don't know. I'll give you a big hug and a sloppy kiss. But I'm really grateful to all of you who support me in any way. Channel members, people who send the super duper, super thanks and super chats and all of those. And those of you, especially after Stigbut's mishap, some of you were kind enough to ping me a bit of PayPal money, which is in a pot. So that if we, or if we decide to go ahead and try and get Stigbut repaired, then the repair pot has got a nice little start in it, and I'm just incredibly grateful to all of you who do that sort of thing, or who just support me and the channel by just not skipping the adverts and leaving that bloody knob alone. So yeah, thank you. You've got to have butter, says Jimmy Quinn, and I agree. Now we're all saying hello to Simon, which is nice. And I don't think I'm letting any secrets out of the bag when I mention that I believe it's Simon's birthday on Friday. And I believe it's a significant one. Now, I don't know if this is people teasing or not, but I heard a few people say that Friday is the big 5-0 for Simon. And I might now just run away and hide before he virtually beats me over the head. You've got to have butter on beans on toast, says GPS. Quite rightly. Butter was only developed, or margarine, to help the palate swallow bread, especially toast. No stream. Oh, hello, Trace. The Greenwood is with us. No stream last night, comes that question. There were 2 streams last night, Trace. Rob of Beards and Bangers did one, which was excellent. And then Mustard did one, which was equally excellent. And I kind of thought that 2 live streams in one night was probably enough. So no, I didn't do one. I had a little job on last night that I had to give my attention to. So no, there wasn't a stream last night, but there's one tonight. So count your blessings. I shouldn't do that. It makes me look as if I have no shoulders and an absolutely huge head. Ugh. Underscore has deployed the muff magnet emoji. All right. General Cheeseburger is a bit less tactful than me. Trace, he was on the job. Simon says band practice was very good tonight. Oh, wrote a bloody good tune. Very sonic youth with a hint of punk. Skick says, do you miss comments off on purpose, or is it a mistake? Some I miss on purpose, some I do by mistake. If you just go through all of the comments religiously, then you end up with a live stream that doesn't start until you've already done an hour and a half. And some of the comments are aimed at each other. They're not aimed for me. And you can all read the comments anyway. And some, I will admit, I miss out if they're a bit too near the knuckle or something like that. Jimmy Quinn says Simon is 40. And then Simon says, oh, that 40? And then, not that you don't look 40, but I remember asking you how old you were and being amazed because you were a lot older than you actually look, because you're quite fresh-faced and young-looking. And I remember when you told me how old you were, I was surprised by it, but I can't remember what age you said you were. So there may be a birthday live stream depending on if I'm in, says Simon. Well, no, it doesn't. There could still be a birthday live stream. You just might be out and miss it. It just won't be you doing it. If you're out, we might do a birthday live stream because it's not all about you. We want to celebrate your birthday as well. And if you just sod off and go out and enjoy yourself at some expensive restaurant, what about the rest of us? We've got to do something. So, yeah, you might go out, but we might have a birthday live stream anyway, without you, with cake and jelly and trifle and games. We'll play pass the parcel and pin the tail on the mustard. Oh, Jimmy, bless you. Thank you, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy Quinn, the lovely Jimmy's bunged me another couple of bob. Thank you, Jimmy. That will go in the pot. Oh, that's nice. General Cheeseburger says, oh, The missus is out tomorrow night in Personchester. He doesn't say Personchester, he uses the old politically incorrect. The missus is out tomorrow night in Personchester to see Ed Sheeran. Oh dear. I can stink the house out with kippers on toast with loads of butter. Sounds, God, I don't know which stinks more. Ed Sheeran's music or kippers on toast with loads of butter. I could never eat, I mean, I wouldn't eat kippers anyway because I don't eat fish on moral grounds. But I couldn't eat kippers after watching that episode of Fawlty Towers anyway. Right, obviously not 50. 55. Oh, wait. There is some conjecture at this point in the comments about Simon's actual age. The most recent one that I've read is 60, and that's from GPS. So it's him who's going to get his head sat on, not me. I only said 50. The streams. I couldn't make the early ones, unfortunately, says Trace. Oh dear, Matt's going for it. Only 50? I thought he officially became an OPWAP this week. Oh dear. Can't you wait until midnight on Wednesday, says Mickey. You interfere with our stream. I didn't know you did one on Wednesday. We need to have, you know what we should do in all seriousness? We should draw up like a rota in the Facebook group of the community live streams so that we can see when live streams are on. So whenever we want to access a community live stream, because, you know, whoever's doing it, then a lot of the people watching are going to be the same. So it's going to be the same kind of community chat. So, you know, they're all equally valid to everybody. And if we can see when they're all on, then we can make sure that we don't overlap with each other, can't we? Or if there's a gap and somebody fancies doing an extra one, we can always fill it. I'll do that. Maybe not tomorrow. I've got big plans for tomorrow. I'm planning. I'm going to try and put together a video that's slightly. I was going to say slightly above my normal very poor average, but if it is slightly above my very poor average, it will only be because it's got other people's footage in it. Yeah, it's going to be one of them. Right, here we are. Here we are. From the horse's mouth. Simon, otherwise known as Project MGTF, our good friend and community member and community channel owner. He's 47 on Friday. And in all seriousness, does anybody reckon he looks 47? I bloody don't. I remember being gobsmacked when he told me how old he was. And presumably he told me he was 46, which he would have been if he's going to be 47 on Friday. So that means that he's only 5 years younger. He's only 5 years younger than me and Mustard. And who would have thought that? But, well, we'll see you before then. But if we don't, then a very, very happy birthday for Friday. You're all welcome round my house. You can wash the pots and clean the cat litter. Oh, thanks. That's a great birthday party, isn't it? You sat off somewhere better and we clean your house. Do we get an extra live stream this week for the neglectful parent act last night? I'm sure we can come to some arrangement. I mean, I could have done a live stream last night, but I'm not sure that you'd have enjoyed it. I mean, you played your faces up at the bedtime story, and that was just me reading out somebody else's words while sitting here like this. If I'd have live streamed at about 1 o'clock last night, then you really would. I mean, Corpse Swap wouldn't have covered it. You'd have really had something to bloody well complain about. Oh, Skick was asking me a question, says Mustard. Oh, sorry, that was aimed at you, not at me. Was it? Or have I missed a comment? I will quickly scroll back. The last comment from Skick, who's got a handy red thing so I can pick out his comments very easily. He talked about missing comments, and that might have been aimed at Mustard rather than me. Matt's putting a guilt trip on me. The lovely Matt is sticking a big fat guilt trip on me, and it's working. I'm feeling it. I am feeling guilty. Oh, and Skick's back. Mustard, Boaty did a live about sadness, etc., and you said you were going to do the same, but you declined. Oh my God, says Simon. I've only just realised you have new candles. I do. I nipped into Tesco's last night and I did indeed purchase new candles. Now, and not only did I purchase new candles, I purchased something that allowed me to use the last of the old candles, which I used last night, but not for you. I used them for other purposes. I bought a new one of these because all the other ones were knackered, and that was why I hadn't lit the old candles, because I didn't have a longy prongy thing to light them with. But go on, quick draw McGraw. Okay, on the count of 3, go for your lighter. Try and beat me. Just try. 1, 2, 3. There, you lost, didn't you? Where was I? Oh, a message held review. How exciting. This will be filth. Big plans for tomorrow's video. Is it porn? No, it's the collection video for Boo. And I have to say, I have got some big love going on for Boo. I absolutely adore that car. I've got a few little bits to work on, but I think it's absolutely fabulous. Oh, excuse me. I do apologise. And I have apologised. Oh God, and they call this bloody entertainment. Christ almighty. I mean, we do our bit. We rock up here, we sit down for, he says an hour, but he normally goes on for Christ knows how much longer. And this is what he does. He just sits there blathering nonsense, or burping, or coughing, or spluttering, or talking about unspeakable things. And we have to put up with it. God, dear me. How he ever managed to get more than about 12 subscribers is beyond me. It's an absolute outrage, it really is. I have many strange thoughts, says underscore. And he's right, he does. Dear God. Cheeseburger says, Simon was born after British Leyland was Rogered. Stephen S. Paul says he looks 20. He certainly doesn't look 47. Jimmy Quinn says, don't forget to like. And yeah, I appreciate every little like. GPS, interesting question here. Doesn't that beard get in the way of you eating your food? Or does it become part of the food? And that's aimed at Simon. Project MGTF, one of our community channels, and jolly good it is too. If you've not I assume you all have. But if any of you guys haven't watched one of Simon's live streams or some of his videos, he's a bit different, and I mean different in a good way. It's really it's quite different and entertaining. There's sound, there's lights, there's costumes, there are sets, and get your asses tuned in there if you've not been. I assume you already all have. I don't always see all of these because I'm not there at the time, and there's just not enough hours in the day for me at the moment. So I always make sure I catch a bit of everybody's thing. Not their thing, but their thing. You know what I mean? There's quite a few live streams knocking about now, and I genuinely don't have time to sit through all of them on replay, but I'll always have a skim through and make sure I've shown my face and see what people are talking about. I had a look at Rob's, and I thought Rob's was very good as well. I liked the individuality. There's a communality across all of the live streams, partly because of the audience, partly because of shared interests. But I like the fact that there will be individual slants from each person presentating them. And it's about time that we started getting together and doing some joint live streams using the YouTube duo live thing. I think I can probably work that. I can't get my head around all the impressive flash things that Simone and Trace use, but I can get my head around the YouTube live thing. So we should do some collaborations, we should do some joint things. Might be interesting to get the two of the individual styles meshing in together and seeing what happens. Mustard's replying to Skick. Boaty's live stream that night was brilliant. Yeah, many of you were very kind about that. Mustard especially so. He rang me the next day to say so. I'm unsure what I said that night, but I am not very good at opening up. I guess you would like me to. Okay, should we talk a little bit about that? I'm not going to go on for much longer. Right, not everybody is comfortable talking about their own emotional stuff. It's I can do it now. For a long time I couldn't. I find it healthy now, and I find it cathartic. And I'm not ashamed of any emotions that I go through, or neither am I ashamed of any of the things that make me, faults and all. But not everybody's going to be comfortable with that, and not everybody's going to be comfortable hearing about it. Different people will have different ways of dealing with it. They'll have different levels of privacy, and they will want different things from live streams, from both presenting them and viewing them. And it's not going to be for everybody, and you can't expect, and some people don't even have an interest in that sort of thing. There are happy people who just plod along day in, day out without the need to think about such things. Over the past 8 or 9 years, I've become much more acutely aware of both my own emotions and frailties, and also those of other people's. And it is something that I do like to talk about. Now, I don't push it because I don't want to turn my live streams exclusively into that, but I certainly won't turn away from it either. And when there's a trigger such as I had on that particular night, I'm certainly going to go there. So it's not going to be a daily rant or even a weekly rant, but it's by no means a subject that's ever going to be off topic. And I will say this to all of you. If you're having a bad day or a bad night or a bad week or a bad month or a bad year or even a bad life, and you want to talk about it, you talk about it and you stick it in the comments, and I will pick up on it and I will absolutely discuss it. If you're happy being open about it, then I will absolutely 100% talk about it. You know, to some extent, when I'm doing a live stream, to some extent it's what I feel like talking about at that time. But you know, I read every single one of the comments, and I will always be led with them, led by them. And if somebody's feeling in that particular, you know, in a particular place, and they want to be open about it, I'll pick up on that and I will gladly talk about it, and we can have a discussion, and hopefully it will help. So don't ever, ever, ever feel that you've got to come along to a live stream and say, hi everyone, everything's brilliant, because it's not. We're all dealing with shit every single day, inside our heads, outside, the shit coming at us. It's there. Most days we deal with it. If we come along to the live stream, we have a fun time and we have a laugh with our pals, great. If you need something more than that, fucking well shout. Don't you dare keep it in. You shout it out and we'll pick it up. Any of you having any sort of a time like that, we're all here for you, me included. So there we are. I think 11 is late enough to expect you to start, Boaty, but feel free to stream longer anytime you like. I'm trying to finish a bit earlier so that I can get a few things done before I go to bed, rather than finishing at 1:30 and then just cooking, drinking wine and falling unconscious. So, you know, the sort of 11 to 12, 11 to 12:30 slot is where I'm aiming to be at. Bedtime story was a hoot, says Liz. Good for a giggle. You should do more. Okay, I will. I can remember where I found that one. And in fact, when was I going to do one? There wasn't. I was going to do one, and I went back onto that website to find another story, and I found one that was absolutely disgusting. That yeah, we should do that. You know, maybe one of the nights when I'm not officially doing a live stream, maybe on I don't know, maybe on a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday or something, maybe I'll just come on unexpectedly and do a bedtime story. Like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I won't read any comments, I'll just read the bedtime story and bugger off. I could do that. That might be amusing. And you won't be expecting it, and you might not see it live. And then you'll go back and watch it, and you'll all be outraged again like you were at the last one. And that would amuse me spectacularly. Oh, Rover Joe is here, or was, when he wrote that comment. And he says hello, and hello to you, sir. How the devil are we? Oh, we're back to talking about, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm talking about beards, and I couldn't have a beard. I couldn't cope with that getting in the way of everything. It must be a nightmare having a beard. I mean, your food's going to get in it, you're going to dribble wine down it, and it's going to get all sticky. It's going to be a nightmare in the bath. When you get out of the shower, it's going to be all wet, and wet hair feels horrible against your naked body. Unless it's Alanis Morissette's wet hair. I can cope with that, especially if it's over my thighs. Oh God, the feel of a woman's hair on your thighs, you can't beat that, can you? Even wet hair at a push. No, I absolutely couldn't cope with a beard. I don't even like having stubble. I operate at like a continuous shaving thing. My electric razor is normally in the kitchen. In fact, it's here right now. And this is about, God, how old is this? This must be 20 years old now. There it is. And I just like, whenever I'm just sitting doing something, I'll pick it up and just have a quick go. I can't bear not being clean shaven, at least on my face. The rest of me is hairy. Oh yes. I was waiting all night for your live stream yesterday. Oh shit, sorry Jimmy. Apologies for that. I did say on Mustard that I wasn't going to do one that night. General Cheeseburger. Last night at 1 AM, I can see it now. Boaty reads bedtime stories and she utters those immortal words. Have you finished yet? Oh, somebody outdrew me on the lighter and shot me 10 times. They had a machine gun. Oh, that's GPS. That's bloody cheating. Oh, don't freeze your wine, and we can add don't burn the cottage down. Did I miss something, says Simon? Was Mother Roger Boaty around Boaty's last night? I think Mother Roger Boaty was safely at Roger Bottingham Mansions last night. Oh, which reminds me, talking about such things, remind me about this. I need to find a car, like a smallish family car, like a Mariva or a Zafira or a 3008 or a Jazz. It needs to be £4,000 or less, but it needs to be automatic. And it's for a very nice lady who can't afford to, single mum, can't afford to buy a bad one. Her last one was not the best car, and she doesn't know what she's doing. And I would like to find a nice car for her. So if any of you know of one, great. Otherwise, remind me that I need to do a video getting it out there. Maybe one of our extended contacts has got one. Maybe Mike, Classic Wheels, whatever. Maybe Mike or James has got one or something, or could lay their hands on one. I'd like to get it from a really trusted source, so that obviously when you're buying a £4,000 or less car that's going to be probably 12 years old, something like that, there's never going to be any guarantees. But if you get something from a trusted source, then at least you're in with half a shout, you know what I mean? So remind me that I need to do that. I promised that I would. Don't know what that's about, Matt, but you should never apologise for finding humour in any situation. Skick says, Mustard, you're a good person. And that kind of subject is hard for someone, I understand, so there we are. Oh dear me. General Cheeseburger says, yes, it looks that way, talking about Mother Roger Boaty being here at Windy Bum last night. She took her false teeth out though. Well, if she did, I hope she left them here. I could do with some of them. Mr. Roger Boaty said his mum was in Derbyshire. Now we know why. Oh, God, is this going to become a thing? Hey? Oh, I see. Is that what she charges? 500 quid an hour? I thought he was skint. Is that what Mother Roger Boaty charges? £500 an hour? Bloody hell. Oh, £500 an hour. Now, what did she do to teeth out? I reckon we should all petition for a 27-hour day. Yes. Um, Simon talking about, thank you for the comments. Lovely comments, he says. I did try and put a bit of effort into the streams to make up for my nonsense and unhinged direction. Well, it's not so much that side, it's the live streams can all be a bit samey, can't they? And that's not a criticism of me or anybody else. At the end of the day, what's it going to be? It's going to be somebody sitting here looking at a portable electric telephone or laptop or something. And I quite like the idea of bringing the changes. That's why I did the live on the way back on the collection thing. So I thought, you know, that's a bit different. It's a bit different in two ways. It's a change of scenery, it's a different location, it's a different dynamic, and it's sharing a moment. I mean, that was a collection thing. And I was on the way back in shitty weather in a car that was new to me. And it's always exciting being in a new car and learning about it and getting excited by it. And I thought, I'll stop, I'll do a live, and I'll share that with you. And I'm glad I did. And I like the idea of doing slightly different sorts of lives that are not so formulaic. But you've kind of taken the idea, you've had the same idea, but you've done it much better because you're in the same place at home, but you know, you're making an effort, you're making a difference. Okay, I got the idea of putting a bit of intro music on, but the idea, I can't remember which live it was you did, but you just suddenly appeared with this hood on and doing the I have been sent by, and I thought that was bloody brilliant. I mean, what a great start to a live. And, you know, they should start that way because it's a real attention grabber. It's, you know, nobody's going to be sitting talking, they're going to, what? What's this? What's this? And I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think you should keep going with it and expand on it. And I love the, I can't remember what you call it, but I love the rocking chair Val Doonican thing with the book reviews, or you've got a title for them, I can't remember what it is. But I thought that was great, and the sound and the light, I think that's all great, and it's different. And with more and more of us in the same community doing lives, we're probably all going to need to find more ways to make them a little bit different, just so that we don't all look and sound the same. And I think that will be great. So I love the fact that you're doing that. I think it's great. You've got the continuity of the the shared viewers who probably watch quite a few, but then you've got the different presentations, and that's got to be good, isn't it? And I love the fact that you put that effort and thought in, rather than, you know, just like me and sort of sitting there saying, hello, here I am again. I'm in the same place. I'm doing Boaty Television, aren't I, Robbie Coltrane? Hello, and welcome to Boaty Television. So, yeah, good on you. Right, yeah. If I don't have time for a stream, I'll run it in the background next day for watch hours, likes, and revenue. You're a legend, thank you. I'm going to look at StreamYard. When I joined Simone Stream, it was really easy. I probably should too, but I doubt I ever will. Dinosaur Dad's off. And we're oh my goodness gracious me, oh, Rover Joe's just made a midnight feast. What have you got? Mustard says, I actually wanted to talk to you the next day about something, but I felt differently the next day. Oh, right, okay, mate. Maybe that's going to be a caravan thing, when we start having caravan adventures. Maybe we'll have You know what will make the difference? Booze. That's why you felt differently the next day. A drop of alcohol is a disinhibitor, and you're much more likely to pour your heart out or be open after alcohol and then the next day in the cold light of day without that little bit of booze kicking in, you're less likely to do it. I'm sure we'll have lots of hearts to heart, because the thing with Mustard and I, and we joke about this, is that we've never been in the same place at the same time with booze. It's always daytime, and obviously we're always sober. We've chatted on the phone when we've both had a drink, and that's been bloody hilarious. But I suspect that our doings might achieve a whole new level when it's an evening and there's a drop of something involved. And that could be a good thing or a bad thing. Hang on. Is the electric razor in the kitchen so you can shave the fish? No, although it is one of those waterproof ones. I can't be asked to stand at the bathroom mirror and shave. And it's a multitasking thing. When I'm sitting doing something where I've got a hand free, I'll just automatically shave. And I won't completely shave, I'll just do a bit. And when you just keep doing a bit through different times of the day and night, then, you know, you stay relatively clean shaven all the time. And I like that. I'm going to start doing oil paintings again, says Rover. How fabulous. Please do share them. Please not a Fiat idea. Bloody awful thing. Bring back the Beetle. Right, I think we're talking about furious driving cars, Matt's cars there, aren't we? Yeah, the rotten Beetle that got swapped for a Fiat idea, whatever one of those is. Well, I know what it is. I watched the video. It looked quite cool, actually, if you like that sort of thing. Honda Jazz, says Cheeseburger. The mother-in-law gave away a one owner from new 12-year-old one with 30k in it 2 years ago. That would have fitted. Yeah, it would. Ask Chopped's Garage for a car. I'm going to. Oh, hello. Roger Boaty's with us. The Cardigan book reviews, that's right. Not sure. Right. Thing is, you've got to build them. You've got to build them up. And if something's a little bit different, don't be put off if it doesn't get an immediate rave response. If you enjoy it and if you believe in it, just keep doing it and keep refining it, and eventually they will come. Unless it's Boaty's Noshes, in which case nobody will ever watch it. But I think that's a really good concept, and I think you should totally keep going with it. And you know, while the channel is still growing, do these things, experiment with them, and but have some belief. Just because they don't immediately do numbers, don't think that means they're no good. You will have a sense of what works and what doesn't. And if it works, stick with it, and you know, give it time. Give it time. These things do take time. He has a knackered Freelander that's coming back. No, he doesn't. Boo is not knackered, and she's not going back to Chops. I love that car. I absolutely adore that car. I used it again tonight. I wasn't supposed to, but I used it again tonight because I just wanted to. And unlike Mustard, I'm not scared and precious of going out and driving a car in case something happens to it. Although, oh God, had the most torrential rainstorm again. I think it's some sort of Welsh rain god, that Freelander. It hasn't stopped raining since I bought it. Oh, bugger off, Roger Boaty. I didn't pay your mother. I didn't pay you or your mother. Oh, chicken, chips and beans. Yeah, nothing special, just something to fill you up. That would do the trick. What have I got tonight to fill me up? Oh, staff curry tonight, staff curry. And tomorrow for lunch I've got, oh, sheep kebabs. I've got sheep kebabs. Oh, nice. I look forward to those. And remind me to take them out of the freezer. In fact, I'll do it now, and then I won't forget. The big question is, how many? Right, this is my current stock of sheep kebab, dated and everything. I have got, oh, one, oh, well that's simple. I've got 4 in stock, so we'll take one long one, oh, there's not that much difference. So we'll take 2 that we'll leave in the refrigerator overnight to defrost. We'll put these. Do you want a masterclass on how to, right, if you ever put hot food into a Tupperware container, like a takeaway container like this one, believe it or not, there is a specific way to close them, because if you don't close them properly and the food inside is hot, then the air pressure will force the lid open. So this is how you do it. You lean down on all 4 corners like that to close the lid, but then you place one palm, can you see, one palm in the middle, pressing down quite firmly, and then you lift that flap to let all of the air pressure escape, and then you tuck it back down. There you go. Useless bit of information for you. So if you ever buy a takeaway and a bit is spilled, that's why, because they haven't closed the doings properly. So those are going in the fridge, and that will be my lunch tomorrow, with this salad carefully stolen from work. Lovely. And the main stock can go back into the freezer. In fact, I'm a bit low. That's my last 2 sheep kebab. I need to make some more. Ugh. God above, it's 20 to 1. I was stopping at 12. I'm going to whiz through the comments and then I'm going to bugger off. Start saying goodnight. I'm not, oh God. Mother says next time she asks you to ride her like a bike, remember she's not a sprinter. Eh? What? What? No idea what she means. What? She wants Boaty's chopper. Oh God. Mustard and Boaty do drinking. That'll be something special. Yeah. Have you written the list of CDs required yet? No. I haven't even thought about it. I've kind of been doing stuff. Matt has very kindly ordered one that I mentioned, Oasis, What's a Story, Morning Glory, for Boo's multi-CD stackable gramophone thing. So that will be arriving at some point, and thank you very much for that, Matt. Oh, the other one I thought of, I don't know what the album's called, but whatever the follow-up album to Jagged Little Pill was, no idea what it is. But the one with thank you on it, I would like that. And did I think of any others? No, but there were some good suggestions. You should do a spending night in the caravan most haunted style. I'd join in with that. I don't know what that is. I don't know what most haunted is. How many miles has Boo done, asked Jimmy Quinn. 129,000, which is by no means low mileage, but it's a BMW M47, so, you know, they just go on forever. I had the M47 in the 75 and that had done 165 and was still running as sweet as a nut. The engine's fantastic, and if you actually open the bonnet, as we did, it looks like a brand new engine. It's so clean. And the car's had thousands and thousands and thousands spent on it. It might have looked like a farmyard when it turned up at Chop's garage. Oh, and do watch the video, because if you've not seen Chop's video, you will never, ever, ever, after seeing my video, you will never need to spend hours restoring headlights again, right? You don't need wet and dry sanding things. You don't need a power doings. You don't need any of that. You don't need any hard work, or you don't need any hard labor. All you need is a bottle of this special stuff, as you will see on the video, and your headlights will be as good as new, if not better, in 20 seconds, and they will stay like that. So there you are. That'll be worth it. Oh dear. Hang on, where did I get to? Henrietta got new tyres all round today. It's always a good day when you get tyres. Not a good day for the wallet, but a wonderful day for that. Oh, bless her. I'm glad about that. Oh, and I meant to comment on your Facebook post and I didn't have time. But thank you for looking after her so well. It proves what I said, that that at some point somebody will come along for a car who are going to give it a much better home than you currently are, and that's exactly what happened with Henny, and I couldn't be happier about it. Is Boo Boaty's passion wagon? Boo is my new Freelander. I had a Chinese tonight, says Jimmy Quinn. Hey, I thought you had chili, chips and cheese. And Mustard says Boaty used to have a Chinese every morning. Yeah. Did Boaty have a Chinese last night? No. No, it was a different flavour of foreign last night, my supper, and a bit of breakfast this morning, which is nice. Always nice when you have a nice foreign meal. It's nice to have some leftovers for the morning, isn't it? Oh, did you realise you've dated your PNHQ meetup on the same day as a Grand Prix? You've doomed us all. Well, no choice, is there? Nothing comes in front of a Grand Prix. Thanks, Boaty. Great night, says Cheeseburger. Oh, Under Rug Swept is Alanis. Seriously, is that the name of the follow-up album? Another great stream, says Jimmy Quinn. Night all. Oh, we're saying goodnight. We're saying goodnight. Oh, excuse me. We're saying goodnight. Yes, we're all saying goodnight. That means I can go and get my supper. Boaty had an Indian last night. Nope. No. Excellent. Splendid. I've really enjoyed tonight. Thank you all for being part of it. Thank you to my new channel members who've joined over the last couple of days. Thank you, Jimmy, for chucking me that couple of quid that I really appreciate. Thank you, Matt, for the CD that I'm really looking forward to getting hold of. Thank you, everybody, for, well, just thank you all. Thank you for being here. Have a fabulous night. And let's play you out with a little bit of something, shall we? Let's see, where are we? It's here somewhere. Here we go. The mustard song, yes. Cheers, darlings. Have a wonderful Thursday. Oh, my wine. Not frozen. Look at that. Woohoo! Great success. Good night, darlings. Now listen to me. You stay safe, you stay warm, and you take great care of yourselves. Have a fabulous day tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow night, I guess. All right, darlings. Good night. Lots of love to you all.